Hello to everyone. This video I'm going into is in reference to the movie called Superman. We have, this movie we may show every 3 years, every 4 years, etc. But we have this new one called Man of Steel, and basically what they're going to do in this one is show how Superman started as a kid, and as he grew up in the earth and so forth and so on. But as I did the research on this movie, I started to realize that, hold up, this guy that has all this power, he gets all this energy from the sun. He has to become secluded, go out of the atmosphere, in the miraculous airs in space, to gather his energy to regenerate it when he's exposed to kryptonite, which is green. Now think about this. It's green. He has to get away from the world, okay, as he go and gaze at the sun. Now you notice I said before in one of my videos that when you start to gather energy for the brain, when it comes to the sun, you're going to your mental level will rise, and you become like antisocial when you first gather this new understanding of I guess you would say comprehension or things of that nature, as it shows subliminally in the movie. And I'm talking about Superman Returns because that's the last one I've seen. He had to come out of the world, right, out of the world to go out into space. And you notice he can hear everything. He can hear everybody's thoughts. Right now, what guy about 2,500 years ago used to do this? He come from the miraculous airs, right? Christ come from the miraculous airs. He was the savior of man. If you're in trouble, or if you're sick, and people looked at him as a so-called hero, but not to the point where they use that word, because when you link the word hero to anything in the Bible, it's talking about anybody that came against Christ, and those who were against Christ that follow the evil behavior was considered heroes. And the first hero was called Herod. So when you take off the D, you just got the word hero. Okay? So nowadays you have the same seed of Amalek. All right? The same seed of Amalek. Amalek is one of the families of Edom, or Esau, that mixed himself with angel DNA. And now he learned how to hide himself through society because he's mixed. And the seed of Amalek is the same spirit and seed of Herod. Now, I didn't want to go too far off the topic, but I just had to kind of like break it down so you understand that a lot of these movies that come out are scriptural, but they're stealing the power that Christ had, and then mixing it together. You got to understand that when you understand the Western world, the way they think, and how they like to put themselves up or be a type of people that want to administer their powers throughout the other nations or what have you. This is based all the way back to Jacob and Esau. Okay, it's a battle between who's going to get the birthright, who's going to get the blessings and the power. So Esau didn't get the powers. Okay, Jacob was the chosen. So Esau is mad at his brother, And the generations to come nowadays, and I'm gonna bring it up to date, he's still mad. He's still considered angry at his brother Jacob, and he's been trying to kill off Jacob ever since. I mean, even with the NASA program, you have satellites up in space that they know that there's going to be a second coming of Christ. So what they do is base movies on Christ himself, and show subliminally like the powers that Superman has. Now, you notice that Superman has to go out in the metropolis areas and get his energy from the sun, away from civilization for a while. He can still hear him, but he's not really gathering his strategic plan to go and help these people out at this time, because he has to gather his strength. Then you have the green-eyed monsters, which is the weakness of man. Those who come against you, they're considered green-eyed monsters. If you do the research on green, the color green, it represents weakness of that person. And if that weakness can get on you and they hold on to you, they'll bring you down as well. So that's why they made the color of kryptonite, as green. Okay? Now, I hope that makes sense. This is Superman, right? European. Okay? The strongest superhero ever. Some people may say it's a toss-up between the Hulk and Superman himself. But I know for a fact that this is the strongest and the most powerful superhero ever. There's nobody stronger than Superman. I don't care what you say. The European strongest superhero ever. Now Blade and what's the other guy? Blade had to, he has to be a vampire, and then you have the movie. Wow, man. Brain Collapse. What's the other movie with the black guy that had the karate moves, and he had a billion neurological imagination, like anything he imagined he can do, but he had to spawn. He had to come out of hell. I hate to feel that I'm nitpicking on how they do superheroes, but we all know. I mean, I'm sure there are other, black so-called superheroes, that he had, or let's say Will Smith, he had to play the movie Hancock. He was a drunk, flying, spitting bird feathers out of his mouth. I mean, come on, yeah, they give you some kind of role, like, it's almost like that, jealousy. Like, I'm gonna give you some drunk superhero. I mean, then you had the black guy. What's the other? Townsend. He was flying around, and he can only fly only 3. I'm surprised. I don't mean to laugh. He was only able to fly about 4 feet off the ground, and he was in the middle of the ghetto, putting up, getting energy to put flowers and stuff like that in the middle of the ghetto. And I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, let me go ahead with this lesson. Let me just. I didn't mean to go that route, but here you go. You had this super guy here, right? Superman. He can fly all over the place, man. He can go through walls. I mean, this man got so many powers. And as you notice, I put this picture up for a reason. I want you to locate some very distinctive symbols within this symbol here, this emblem, right? See if I can put it out there more. Now, I'll put it up in a minute. The new one is called Man of Steel, but I call it the Man of Steel, Steal. The reason why is when Lois Lane was asking Superman, hey, what does the S stand for? You notice he said uh, it's not an S. There's a reason behind that. And I was telling people a long time ago that's not an S. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, no, it's not. When you know how to break down things and your eyes are open, you take the veil off, take the fluoride out of your diet, the chemtrail, try to stay away from certain things, and you'll see. Now, I'm going to put this image up again. Now, as you notice, you see a diamond, right? Which links to demon or daemon. You notice how you get a male and it says Daemond, like daemon, that links to demon. The word diamond links to demon as well. Oh, no, it don't. Yeah, okay. You see this here? See this eye right here? That's a snake. That's what's on your so-called Superman emblem. You see the S? A so-called S, right? But you see the snake head, right? Then on this side, this is the tail. If you go to the older emblems, you'll see the same thing. You see that? That's what you have. Now, let's go into some more information. I hope you've seen that. If you're not, let me put up the black and white image. Right? Okay. Okay. Now, you have, this is what you're looking for. Let me put it real quick again so you'll understand what I'm getting at here. This is what you have. You had a 6-pointed star, period. That's what that is. And I'm going to show you. Do you know that the same image, you see, I drew it. I can't draw worth a crap, but that's the 6-pointed star, and you have the S in the middle, and you have the diamond. You can't refute that. All they did was, like I showed here in this picture, is widen it out, superimposed it, and put the snake in, or so-called S, in the middle of the diamond. They took off the goat heads here. This is the goat head. They cut off the wings, and they cut the crown off the top of his head. That's what the star is. And they cut the goat heads off, right? Some people, of course, you have the 5-pointed star, which is the goat head of Satan. And you have the 6-pointed star, which is the Baphomet. Okay. Oh, wow. Let me show this. Since I had a Sharpie, you know how they go through paper. That's pretty amazing. It shows on the opposite side, because it went through to the other side of the paper, the S. Same thing. And why are you showing this? Why are you showing this stuff to people? Because I want to open you all's eyes. Is the reason why I'm showing it. Not saying you shouldn't go watch Superman. I believe it's a great movie. I like them. I like the movie because I understand. I take out the bones and I see what they're really doing. Children of Israel, you all have so much power. The other nations envy it. They're going to make movies about you, and they're going to put themselves up as the characters. You got to understand, they took themselves up as the characters in the Bible to get you away from it. The children of Israel in the Bible are people of color. Of course, we are unto the Most High. His heritage is unto him like a speckled bird. But you got to realize that they have to play out. You notice when people are mad at someone, they will, like, if you're jealous or envy of your neighbor because they got a car, a nice looking car, they get one too, to cry out as based on their jealousy. Your yard look better than mine, so let me get a better looking yard. So what they're doing is based on jealousy, because the Most High chose us as people. And I know some people are going to balk on this video because, oh, there you go singling out the Hebrew people again, and she just love everyone, of course. But this is the time, and this is the time of my Bible studies, and these videos are to really wake our people up. And I understand why they make certain movies. And see, you gotta understand, the actual, I know I'm going back and forth, but I have to say this. The reason why that S, so-called S, is on his chest, because it represents God Himself, as we're the heart of the Most High. We've always been His heart. You see what I'm saying? We are His people from the beginning. Now, man, how can you say Superman is this? All they're mimicking is Jesus. I'm gonna call him Jesus because some people can't relate if I say Yeshaya or Yeshua. It's Christ. They're mimicking Christ's powers on another level, so you can see it on the movie. Okay. Now, as I've done the research on this guy, I found out that you know he's the so-called son of Jor-El. Jor-El is the father of Superman. And I should have got a picture of him, but he's he's dressed in white, almost like the guy, the father of Tron, the guy that made the movie, that created the game, and then he had discourse within the game. He created himself, and himself was evil, came against the grain based on him being programmed just to do one thing. He didn't have a heart. So to get back on this movie, then Superman himself, before we as humans called him Superman, because that's all we knew based on our, the layman terms of his power. He's a Kryptonian, and his power, his gravitational pull in his planet was a little stronger than ours. And his name is Kal-El, right? I guess I'll put my notes up here. K-A-L-E-L, as you see where my finger is. Kal, right? Now, when you look up the word L, when you look up first word, if you look up the word Kal, or K-A-L, in the Hebrew concordance, it's going to link to the word light or swift. Light or swift. Now, we understand that our people fell because of a light, but it wasn't the light that we were supposed to be following. And like I said, again, you got to watch how you start to get energy from the sun, because you're going to wake your brain up, and you're going to start doing things supernaturally. Okay, but going back on this, when you look at the word light and L is the Canaanite god. Our people fell. If you go to Judges chapter 2 verse 13, how we forsook the Lord and we started to follow Baal worship. Even if you go to Judges chapter 2 verse 11, we serve Balaam. So the word El, just El, those two letters, linked to the Canaanite god. When you go to Jeremiah chapter 23 verse 27, we've forgotten the Most High's name for Baal. So, and I'm bringing these scriptures out so you will understand that we go to these movies, we come into, we start feeling that, ooh, man, it's powerful this and powerful that. And the Most High is getting a little jealous, because you're like, oh, well, it's just a movie. But you got to realize these movies make millions of dollars. There's more people that go to watch a Superman movie. There's more people that go to watch a Superman movie before they go to a so-called church or get into the Bible. There's only a few people that get into the Bible, and people be wondering why so many things happen to them, or why God let this happen. I mean, you're going to see a movie that's based on his son's power, and then his name is Satan. I'm gonna show you. They just changed the name. Now, I hope I got these notes correct, because sometimes I'll be tripping. Let me see something here. All right. If you look at the word Superman, I may rewrite this. Hold on. Let me see something. One moment. Give me a few minutes. I just want to make this very clear. If you look at the word Superman, it's 8 letters total. And you understand, I'm a decoder. I decode things. That's just my gift. I'm not boasting. That's just something that I've understood how to do. I don't know why. But if you look up the word Superman, right? You got eight letters total. But really, you got to look at what they're really doing. Really, they're mimicking Son of Man, which we know is Christ, which is 8 letters total of that title, right? Son of Man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Superman, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's nothing. That don't mean anything. Well, it means a lot. Let me tell you why. The reason why is because you have the word Satan, then you got the word super, 5 letters. It's not no coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence. We were always supposed to think that S that on that man's chest was a so-called S was a S. That emblem is a so-called S, but it's not. In the movie, they say that when he was being interrogated, and Lois Lane was his reporter or whatever. That's not who he. That's not what they are. If we hear say, or it means some, they'll give you another definition what it means, but it's just you got to look behind the lines. Now, I put that out is because you have, and if you look up the word snake, that's 5 letters. It's not what you think, super. No, it's not. It just seemed like it is. And see, I put out this information, so people can just realize, look behind the lines, and then maybe you won't be so quick to be hypnotized. And let me go to a scripture. I wanted to show some more information, but what I'll do is, if you go to Matthew chapter 16, verse 27, I'm going to go to Matthew chapter 16, verse 27. I'm going to show you something. Matthew 16:27 says, one moment. It says, "For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father," right, "with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works." So when people say, "Oh man, you ain't got to follow the law," but hold up, faith without works is dead. And then he's going to reward you according to your works. But going back on topic, when it says, "For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father," we know that Superman, so-called, has came into the glory of his father, Jor-El. Israel? Wow. And then his name is Superman, which really means son of man. It's no difference. 8 letters, total title, 8 letters. Both total titles have 8 letters. It's not a coincidence. They know what they're doing. I'm tell you, these people they're very smart. They're intellectual. They dumb us down so we won't look behind the lines. Like I showed you, the emblem itself, they're on point. But you'll start seeing their weapons of destruction. It'll come at you like a so-called stereograph. I don't know if you all heard of a stereograph, where you look into this picture, and if you look long enough and you adjust your eyes and stare a certain way, you will see the image that they're putting out. Okay, and I think that's a wrap. Oh, let me bring this out too. I need some information about this book. I haven't read it yet. It's called God and the Negro. I know some people may get a little offended to of the title, but I want some information on this so I'm going to read it, and the author is Alonzo Potter Holly. Alonzo Potter Holly. That's the author. Guy, co-worker gave me this book to, I guess he wanted to, because he respect, the information I put out, and he wanted me to read it to see if it's okay, or, is it plagiarism? And like I said, I don't know exactly, and I'm putting this information out there because I still will read it because I can take out the bones. But some people gotta watch what they read because they can be taken by a spirit. But the Most High have given me the anchor to only believe what His words say. So this is a video that I wanted to put out. We making more videos as usual. Everybody know my routine, and hopefully you all got some information out of these Superman movies based on who the actual children of Israel are in the earth, the ones that have been demised, demeaned, oppressed, enslaved, hung on trees, crosses burnt in the yards. These people are not regular people. You don't just do that to regular people, and they really don't know exactly who they are anyway. Another thing I want to bring out, there's a documentary called Hidden Colors. I looked at that documentary and I was amazed. It really connects some dots that I didn't know, and they don't tell you exactly who these people are. And I don't want to give off because I want you all to order it or find it on Amazon somewhere. If not, if you don't have it, if you want to request it, I'll see if I can make you a copy and give me your information, and I'll send it to you. The reason why is it's very informative. If you all haven't seen it, most people I ask, they don't know what it is, they haven't heard of it. I'm gonna tell you why. When you really see that documentary, it's called Hidden Colors. A lot of people may know about it, but I'm gonna tell you, it really woke me up. It brought me to a few tears actually, because there were some things that I didn't know about us, why this, why that, and then it brought down how we were scattered. I mean, this documentary, these guys, they're not that old. They're young. There's a few older guys in the video, but I'm gonna tell you, they break down each tribe, ignorantly calling them Negro or Moors. And I don't want to demise what they're doing or talk bad about them. I'm telling you, these guys are very educated, more educated than I am. But I take it on a biblical aspect, and I know exactly why our people were scattered. I mean, it's not just a black movie. They break down the Filipinos, the Ainu tribe, the Haitians. I didn't even know Buddha was a so-called black man. The Dartichit people. I've learned a lot. When I started doing information, doing research on information, sometimes it put me to sleep because I'm not used to grasping and holding and comprehending a lot at one time. So it takes me a while to digest it. But I'm gonna tell, I ask people to go and try to find that documentary because it's very informative, especially to wake out people up who they are. It's that time. These videos from here on out, a few more I may put up in reference to the other nations, of course, but I'm gonna have to keen in on our people to wake them up because we're in the last days. Certain things is going to happen in the government. Wars. You got Syria has been attacked by Israel. They hit a main science lab. Come on. You got to understand, Syria don't deal with the new world order and all the one world government system. They want to be independent. So these other, you have Israel, and Israel and America is like brothers. So that's another story. But once you do this history and do the world news, and you're gonna see some things that's going on in the earth. But hey, get that documentary, and somebody tell me about this book right here. This is my life, and I'll be doing this for the rest of it. Shalom.